because that's what they accept there. So your name is?
Ed Coleman.
And you are an elected Libertarian.
I am elected city councilman at large and as a Libertarian in the city of Indianapolis.
So how did that happen?
Well, I actually was originally a Republican. I ran for office as a Republican. I worked very hard. I did a lot of grassroots campaigning.
Right.
Reached out to a lot of people, and with a little luck, I would have to be honest and say, my opponents made some major mistakes, and I managed to get in there. As far as becoming a Libertarian, that was a little different story. I realized once I got to be in the inner circle and be elected, I realized the corruption didn't just apply to Democrats. The corruption applies to both parties.
Right.
And I got pretty fed up with it, and I've always said that I am for the people. Special interests, attorneys, lobbyists don't mean anything to me, and I wasn't going to answer to them.
And did you find that the Republicans, they used to be more committed, or at least have the rhetoric of wanting less government, smaller government, less taxes? And did you find that that was not true?
I would say for years, I always said it, and I even campaigned on it, that Democrats have never seen a tax they didn't like. Well, once I finally got into office, I realized that if it suits their need, Republicans are the same way. And, you know, that's not what I'm about. I truly believe in the smaller government, less taxes, and instead of following with the campaign promises, many of my fellow Republicans running for office have not fulfilled those promises, and I said I will. Whether that means I have to leave the party, I will fulfill those promises.
Yeah, and that's important. Integrity is a big part of it, and actually doing what you say you're going to do, rather than a Libertarian coming to office isn't there to seek power. We're more there to bury the power that the politicians have, rather than go in and glorify ourselves and take over, which I think is one of the reasons that government is constantly getting bigger, whether it's under the Republicans or the Democrats. People are seeking office for personal gain rather than what you said, there to represent the people and what's best for the people.
I have always said that, you know, while I was a Republican, I realized one day that I'm not anymore, and I thought about it. It was like, well, do I want to finish my term as a Republican? And I was like, no. I'd feel like a hypocrite if I go against my personal beliefs, so I switched. And I'll tell you the same thing I tell everybody else. You know, when it comes time for me to run for re-election, I would rather lose than sell out.
Right. I was an ex-Democrat, and I found that the Democrats as well, you know, weren't really, I knew I was always for less government, less taxes, but from all of the analysis that I had seen, the Republicans weren't giving us that. They were never giving us less taxes and less government. In fact, in most cases, they're worse than the Democrats. And then the Democrats on civil rights were supposed to be so much stronger, but when you looked at that, they weren't really either. So it was I found, you know, that the Libertarians were better at being Republicans than Republicans, and better at being Democrats than the Democrats. So, you know, I joined and have been ever since. So what were you able to accomplish? What are some of your accomplishments that you could really be proud of so far?
So far, I have not been able to get a lot through yet. I'm still in that early phase of working on writing up some new legislation for the city. I am proud of the fact that since I have left, though, I have gotten to be a lot more outspoken about things that I know are wrong.
Right.
You know, and while I work on putting these proposals together and changing things to make the city better, I'm really speaking out against certain issues. In Indianapolis, they're talking about extending our smoking ban to include bars, and I believe firmly in property rights. I don't, I've been working to fight that and make sure that never even comes up for a vote. Our local government has what's known as the Capital Improvement Board. They have put the city into so much debt, and now they're trying to tax their way out of it, and I'm fighting that. I've gone as far as to call for the resignation of the president of the board.
Right.
So right now I'm working on the issues at hand, while also in the process of writing new legislation to put through to try to affect good libertarian change within Indianapolis.
So it freed you up from your, I don't know, the strings that were there holding you back, to be a libertarian because you're no longer there representing special interests. You're no longer there representing anything else other than the agenda of what's best for the people.
Exactly.
So anyway, thanks for coming out. Do you have a website or something where people can go?
I don't officially have one yet. I have somebody who is working on one.
What's it going to be called?
Well, I don't know yet. There's a couple domains we want, but I think a couple of them are in use. I would say for right now, though, the best way to track me down is to go to the Indianapolis website, which is indigov.org. You can go to the council site, and my email is directly on there, and you can email me. I also have a Facebook page. You can come be a friend, send me messages on Facebook. I have a fan page at the request of some of the people around Indianapolis.
So spell your name so people can find it on Facebook?
It's Ed Coleman, it's E-D, and then it's just like the cooler, C-O-L-E-M-A-N.
Okay, well thanks for coming out.
All right, thank you.